Hello and welcome into another Lighthouse podcast. Guys, we're sorry that we haven't been live sooner and that we haven't been posting things, but we've had a lot of things. And you'll notice that Topher currently is in a different background than I am.
I'm here.
What happened, Topher? Where are
You're
you?
you're not here. I'm
No,
here.
I'm here. You're there.
I'm
Where
on vacation, technically.
where is there?
The beach.
Do I need to
I'm
have our
sitting
guest say where you're at?
outdoors.
Because she clearly knows where you're at better than you do.
I'm in Garden City,
Uh-huh.
South Carolina,
Oh,
at an
oh.
undisclosed campground that's massive, and everybody knows it.
Massive. Okay. You'll hear that little laugh in the background there. That is a close friend of mine. Her name is Rachelle. Hi, Rachelle. How are you
Hello,
today?
hello. I'm great. How are y'all?
So she's actually in studio with me since Topher didn't have the common decency to be.
Hey,
No, you don't get to say hey, okay?
no, hey.
Hey. So yeah, so I want to introduce Rochelle because she has a very unique skill set that she's actually taught me a little bit about this kind of stuff, and I think that it's something that is extremely interesting and something that I think can actually be beneficial to many of you out there that may be watching right now, currently, today, tonight,
Now,
and
presently,
I want you to kind of give a little bit of insight on what we have right in front of us and give a little bit of backstory to who you are, first of all. I think that's kind of important. But I think it's also important for people to know exactly what it is that we are kind of getting into today and what you're going to be discussing. Okay?
We're going to be discussing mushrooms. Specifically, a couple of culinary ones and medicinal. They also have like a lot of medicinal purposes as well.
Mm-hmm.
I did bring a couple of cool samples with me, but basically, I grew up on a farm, small farm, and have always been fascinated with plants and fungi and just how nature can like help us, how we can eat off the land
Mm-hmm.
essentially. Um, but yeah,
very cool.
That's awesome. So, what is it about mushrooms that really intrigues you the most? Like, I know a little bit about mushrooms. As a matter of fact, I use some mushrooms. And I think we're going to get into this in a
mm,
little bit. I use some mushrooms on a day-to-day basis. Not those kind of mushrooms, okay? Not the happy mushrooms, but I use things like turkey tail and reishi, cordyceps,
mm.
and
Honestly, that's the one we're going to talk about soon.
nice.
Yeah.
So I use quite a few of those actually to help kind of combat my cancer.
Mm.
And I know that there are plenty of mushrooms out there that have loads and loads of great, um, like medical and healing factors. Some of which probably have not been examined too closely by like the FDA and stuff like that. But
Right.
kind of give a little bit of background on some mushrooms, some of the ones that you brought today, maybe
Okay.
what some of their healing properties are, and can they help, with both physical and mental ailments and stuff like that. So just kind of give us a rundown.
Well, first off, actually, walking Miss Mika the other day, I found this awesome reishi over in the yard just up from the house.
Very nice.
So really cool. First off, they're pretty noticeable. They're kind of tough and fibrous. You
Hmm.
wouldn't want to eat it.
Yeah.
Not really, not like this.
Yeah.
But you can see kind of glossy, reddish brown. It's called the mushroom of immortality. And it kind of helps with stress relief, sleep support, again, longevity, and as
Hmm.
well cardiovascular support and health. It also helps balance the body's stress response.
Oh,
Yeah, kind of
that's
helps
cool.
lower that cortisol level, which is I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Especially if you're always in a stressful environment in nursing or anything like
Right.
that.
Right. Right.
Any high demand, I think, is definitely a good benefit.
Hmm.
But also anti-cancer, anti-inflammatory, and it has antioxidants. So that's a big thing too.
Hmm.
But yeah, back to the traditionally used a lot in Chinese and Japanese medicine for longevity and vitality.
Right. So when you say
And
anti-cancer,
Hmm.
does that mean like it helps prevent cancer or it can help fight cancer? Is it both
It's
or?
kind of both. because once it's in your system for a long time, like, and basically it creates an environment that the cancer can't survive in.
Okay. Okay. Did you have something that you was going to say, Topher?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to try to ask this on a lot of them. Typically, where would you find that growing? Like, what are the
Okay,
conditions?
so usually they are found on hard oaks, usually like
Okay.
stumps, things like that. I actually sent you a couple pictures of where I found
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
just the other day. It was just literally on like I think a stump that had been cut off really close to the ground, and you
Yeah.
know the old growth, and so it was just like right on the side. Usually you can find a lot of the mushrooms on hardwood like oak and cherry. Depending on like
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is if like they like specific, like if different mushrooms like specific types
they
of
do.
woods.
They do.
Okay, that's cool. So the reishi, I know I have used reishi on a number of times, and a lot of times I'll use it more so either in a tincture or like as a powder that's been mixed with coffee because it's really, really, really bitter.
It is. It is very. It's not very palatable.
No.
But I was gonna say the capsules are really great.
Yeah, a lot of the best medicines do not taste good.
No, they
No.
don't.
Yeah.
That's the point, though, right?
So where did you draw your inspiration? I want to get this out real quick. Where did you draw your inspiration for finding mushrooms and stuff? Like, did you just like look at one day and like squeeze one of the little spore ones? And, like,
it was just a fascination. Honestly, growing up, they're cool. You know, I'm sure you've seen all the little puff balls as you're a kid.
Yeah, I
You
used to
wanna
squeeze them whenever.
flick them, and they poof everywhere. That's all the spores. I don't know. It just kept growing, kept growing. And then when I had moved back home from Michigan, I started working with Trad Cotter and Olga down at Mushroom Mountain for a while. And that kind of just sparked it even more. And I learned a lot from them as well and just kind of kept diving in. And I don't really do anything outside of just, it's really neat. I think one of my favorite things is going on hikes with Mika and not having I'm not going out to necessarily forage or anything, and she takes me off on a path, and we end up finding like a ton of chanterelle or black trumpet mushrooms or something like that.
Yeah, you actually taught me how to identify chanterelles.
I did. That was a fun
Yeah,
adventure.
and there was a chanterelles. There were two different types that you were showing me. I can't remember the names of both of them. I know one of them was like a peach.
Yeah, sometimes out where I would took you, which was just over in the Clemson Experimental Forest, was the peach chanterelles, and then just normal chanterelles, smooth chanterelles.
Okay,
more than likely was the one we found.
Now, I see you got another mushroom over here.
I do.
And it looks similar to the chanterelle as far as color goes.
It is. It is an orange one. This one's really cool. It's called Chicken of the Woods. This is not. It's a couple days old. I picked it the other day actually. It was up in the mountains. Big. And again, I showed you pictures of where it was growing and how the edges kind of looked. They were a little more white.
Yeah.
But what I love about this one, let me turn over to my little page here, my cheat page. Chicken of the Woods. So again, bright orange, yellow, and this one kind of grows in like shelves. So usually you'll get several of them together. But again, shelf on oak and cherry specifically. But it's also a really great meat substitute. Like you can hold it, check it out. It's very meaty.
Now, I know that this is an edible mushroom.
It is, but you would want to cook
but
it
I wouldn't
first.
want to just.
No, unfortunately, no.
So
it tastes kind of weird.
And this one has also what are called lookalikes, correct?
There are a couple. I'm honestly not 100% sure because I guess I don't think about the lookalikes. Now I want to look this up.
Maybe we should kind of discuss what exactly I mean by lookalike because I know what I'm talking about.
So
but they
with
might
chanterelles is a big one. There's lookalikes that chanterelles have, and that's kind of like the jack-o'-lantern. Some people might mistake it for that, and I'll have to send you a picture because I think I do have a picture of that. But I'm gonna look really quick too.
So. What I mean by lookalike is a lot of mushrooms that are palatable and edible, most of which you would probably want to cook before you ate them. They'll have what's called a lookalike, and a lookalike is another mushroom that may or may not also be edible, or some that may be toxic. And if you eat these mushrooms and they are a lookalike that is toxic,
severe gastrointestinal upset.
Bad things.
Like the worst tummy ache you've ever had. Probably.
some of which can be lethal. But there are different ways of being able to identify. What are the different identifying factors like between like the gills or pores or fins or whatever the case is? What are these identifying factors of mushrooms that?
Well, specifically for the chicken of the woods, like I was saying, is the bright orange, the yellow, and it grows in shelves, usually always on the oak or cherry. And then it has this good smell. And then on the back, you know how like most mushrooms you get from the grocery store, they all have gills.
Right.
The ones you see out in your yard have gills. These are pores. So they're a little bit different, and you can.
And then I know some also have like the inverted pores that they're like kind of like little bumps that are on the bottom. So can you tell me a little bit about like stuff like that? Like,
so you have teeth, which kind of come down. That's more like a lion's mane. Lion's mane are considered teeth.
right.
And then you have what is the other one? Hedgehog mushrooms, which are a really yummy edible. I wish I could have found a few of those. That would have been cool. But then you have my brain just completely lost the word.
I'm not sure.
The thing.
Yeah, the thing.
That's okay.
Gills,
Uh-huh.
pores, and
Teeth.
teeth. Yes,
Yeah.
pores. But pores are usually found on. Oh my goodness. I just completely lost.
No, it's okay. All right, so just because it has pores doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be an edible mushroom.
No. That's just helping you identify the specific mushroom. So it's always best to like go on. There's a lot of different websites too, or online. There's a lot of groups on Facebook specifically that you can go. Make sure you take a good picture of where you found it, the front of it, the bottom of it. That's always good help to be able to identify like the colors and everything.
Sure.
And you can always post it on those websites and help identify before you ingest.
Got you. So, did you have a question?
Well, yeah, because that was what I was thinking was because, and again, you need to be an expert to identify mushrooms. Let's be clear about that. We're a doorway into, hey, here's some cool things about mushrooms, but you really need to know what you're.
I would definitely say you want to make sure that you know what you're eating. A
person needs to understand, hey, if I misidentify this, there's going to be trouble. So, but I'm just out of curiosity, the ones because the two that you showed, I believe, are two that would typically grow on a hardwood tree of some sort. And so my wife and I hike a lot, upstate South Carolina, western North Carolina. So we're in the woods a lot, and so we see a lot of those that are growing on trees like that. And you'll see these big fans of, sometimes they're very small, but there's a lot of them. Sometimes there's a few really big ones on there. Are those typically an edible mushroom?
No, you're talking about like the little fan ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, typically they're not very palatable. They're very tough, very fibrous. So probably one of them kind of has like a bluish color. That's typically a turkey tail. Whereas it is very medicinal, and once in like powder form, you can incorporate it into like teas and coffees and things like that. But just picking it up and eating it like you would a normal mushroom bought from the grocery store is not very palatable. No.
Right. I can't imagine many of them are particularly palatable.
Well, you're not a mushroom person, are you?
I'm not a mushroom person.
Well, I happen to be a very big mushroom fan. I love loads of mushrooms. As a matter of fact, I was just recently watching a Joe Rogan episode with the Mushroom Man. I can't remember his name, but he always wears the mushroom that he found as a hat. There's a hat that he made out of a really big mushroom that he found. But he was actually talking about how, pardon me, there are some like serious undertones about like in the mushroom industry about portobello mushrooms. Have you heard anything about this kind of stuff?
What do you mean?
Like undoubtedly, like so if you don't cook portobello mushrooms, it can actually be a carcinogen.
So there's only, to my knowledge, one mushroom that you can just walk up and eat. Like, and that would be the beefsteak polypore. I've only found one of those one time.
What about like white mushrooms?
So the thing is, mushrooms have like a chitin wall, kind of similar to the same thing that like lobster shells are made of. Not as thick, obviously, but basically when you cook them, that breaks that cellular wall down and makes all of the nutrients from the mushrooms be able to be bioavailable for your body to absorb the nutrients from it.
Got you. Okay. So with these two mushrooms here that you brought in, um, I know that each one of them has two completely different ways of being able to consume them. But there are similarities, like you can make break them down into like powders to use as capsules, or you can turn them into a tincture. But like, is that the same with like all mushrooms? Like, did every mushroom like have like certain ways that you have to cook them, or what are some of the different methods for?
Well, a lot of ways. Like for instance, with your chicken of the woods here, great way to cook it is literally when you want to clean it up because this one's a little dirty. Clean it up, and then you would I personally, if I'm going to make like little chicken nuggets out of it,
right,
just cut it up into little corners and then put it in my breading and then make sure that I cook it really thoroughly. Let's see, what's another one? I have lion's mane, for instance. Lion's mane is really yummy. Everybody says it tastes like lobster or crab.
Yeah.
So a lot of people like to cook it with butter, olive oil, and a lot of garlic.
Yeah. Yeah. This way, whenever I make use lion's mane, I'll actually season it exactly the same way that I would a steak.
Yeah.
And cook it exactly the same way.
Yeah, they're very meaty. They're very meaty, and they pull apart really well. Make really good tacos or like things in your shredded dish and like shredded meat dishes.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're trying to, go into like a vegetarian style diet, mushrooms would probably
they're very high in protein, like pretty high in protein. Where's my little note? I have a little note here about they're really high in protein. Most of the mushrooms contain a lot higher vitamin D. They're like one of the non-animal sources of vitamin D.
Right.
So
what is it about mushrooms that causes them to have so much protein and stuff like that are very similar to meats as far as like the proteins and the nutrients that are in them? Do you know what makes them so close?
That I actually do not know. That's a thing I need to search up now.
So the network of mushrooms, the
mycorrhizal.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so something that I have learned, and this is because I also have a fascination, not as much as you do, but I also have a fascination with mushrooms, and they're all mushrooms are kind of connected in a way to one another, and they are very similar in their DNA properties to humans. So that is one of the reasons why they have such high protein levels, and why they are so, from what I understand, why they're so beneficial for humans.
I learned something new. I did not know that.
So I learned that a little while back, but it's just from doing a little bit of research for myself.
Yeah.
But mostly watching that mushroom. I wish I knew his name. Because he's actually really, really full of information.
He was on the Joe Rogan?
Yes. Just look up Mushroom Man Joe Rogan, and you'll find it. And you guys should check it out.
Murdock had written it down.
Look, I wasn't really even thinking about the fact that I was going to bring it up in the conversation today, Tover. So if you don't mind not giving me so much grief on this, I would much appreciate it. I can mute your microphone. I just wanted to point that out.
I've lost your video feed, by the way.
You lost my video feed? Well, it's okay. You don't need my video feed. The only people that do are the people.
I can hear you guys fine.
Well, there you go. Also, Kimber, nice to see you. I'm really happy to see you. But yeah, anyway. So, what are some other benefits to mushrooms, and like, can they help you as far as like physical and mental, emotional? Like, what are some different ways that these things can be used medicinally?
Well, for instance, lion's mane is really good for brain health, memory, focus, and actually nerve repair, specifically nerve growth factor, supporting brain repair and regeneration, which is a big one, especially for people suffering with neurodegenerative issues.
So you're saying that what we've been taught all these years about how your brain cells cannot be or can't be reproduced, and like the neurons can't be reconnected. You're saying that.
So, yeah, sort of. So your body can regenerate some nerves in other places, but it's typically a lot harder for it to regenerate within the brain.
Right.
And adding lion's mane kind of helps support and helps that nerve growth factor.
Okay.
It stimulates it.
All right, so that's good news for people like me who have like memory issues and stuff like that, or maybe individuals who have had traumatic brain injuries.
Absolutely.
So and specifically a lion's mane would be able to help with that. I've heard that reishi are another good one for that. And what are some other mushrooms that you can suggest to people who have common issues like memory issues or trouble sleeping and stuff like that?
Let's see. What was my next one? Actually, the reishi. That was the next one because it does help with stress relief, which then kind of segues into sleep support and the cardiovascular health, like I mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then let's see, get into cordyceps. Cordyceps, which I wish I had one, but cordyceps, there's a lot of different ones, but the main one, the C. militarius, I'm gonna say that wrong, but they're like little slender, long, orange club-looking things, and they typically grow on like larvae of caterpillar and moths.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. But they're really good at boosting your energy and giving you more stamina, increasing your oxygen and your libido. But one thing that a lot of is really good for athletes, if I can get my words out. And then it's usually in a lot of these like complete like mushroom things.
Yeah,
so this one has like a lion's mane, turkey tail, reishi, and cordyceps.
Right.
This is actually found this on Amazon.
Okay. Well, if you guys want to check that out, you're more than welcome to. We are not sponsored, but I definitely wholeheartedly advocate for personal and mental health awareness and growth and taking care of yourself. So I think it's worth your time to look into this kind of stuff. So, yeah, I think that's really, really interesting that, something that is so common in nature and hold on, that gnat just landed on my...
Oh, it just landed on your head. Where's Jackie Chan with chopsticks when you need it?
I thought you just grabbed it.
I tried.
There's this gnat that's been just like absolutely, no pun intended, bugging us for like the last hour and a half in studio, and it's been getting on my nerves so bad. It's such a pest.
I thought he was going to throw the coffee cup at it a minute ago.
I really wanted to, but I lost my train of thought.
Not the branded coffee cup.
So I think it's something that's so common to find all over the place in nature, and yet they're big pharma is always trying to shove like chemicals down our throats. When all we have to do is just turn to Mother Nature's pharmacy. And that's something that I find really, really interesting.
I think it's a lot of times because the FDA has a hard time regulating it. And then, big pharma, they're not getting...
Yeah.
If you can go out and forage your own free food and medicine.
Right. Yeah.
Well, pardon me. I think that I think it's worth someone's time to get out and learn a little bit more about these kind of things, because it's if something like this can help me possibly with my cancer situation, or with liver function, with kidney function, if you have kidney stones, gallbladder, gall issues, or lung issues. Do you know any that are good for any of those specific, like lung, liver, anything like that?
What was the one? I did have one that was good for the liver. I did write down. Oh, this one. Reishi is actually really good for supporting cardiovascular and your liver function.
Again, that's
yeah. Reishi's your one of immortality.
Yeah, they're some of them are considered superfoods.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to add that reishi, lion's mane, and a few of those same ones like that, you can always go to these local mushroom shops. Mushroom Mountain, I can't remember the one there's one in Greenville, in downtown Greenville, I think.
And that's South Carolina, by the way.
Yes, South Carolina. And you can purchase like the spores or like the grow bags. You can just literally, they'll ship you a bag, you cut it, you
have a box, don't you, somewhere?
Well, that's just shiitake mushrooms that I bought from the grocery store.
But that's similar to what some of them might come.
You would get it in like this kind of a plastic bag, and then you cut a slit in it, and you're going to spritz it and, make it nice and moist. And eventually you're going to grow some mushrooms on your kitchen counter.
Now, do they have the ability to respore on their own?
So depending on the bag, like with the bags, it's a little different. You're only going to get a couple of fruitings. Whereas, let's say, for instance, you're wanting to get some shiitake mushrooms. What's really neat is depending on the diameter, the diameter of the log that you inoculate with the spores, that kind of can depict how long you're going to. So, for instance, if you inoculate a log that's like 5 inches in diameter, that can potentially fruit for you for 5 years. Oh, wow. And so like your first year is probably not going to be big of a yield. This next couple will be good. And then like towards the end, it's going to start not fruiting as much. Gotcha.
And you can find those like on Amazon. I think you might actually be able to find some of those kits like on Walmart.com and stuff like that as well.
But I've not looked at Walmart for them, but I'm sure Walmart would carry something like that.
Yeah, I mean, like if you actually, of course, not in store, but like if you go onto their website, they sell a lot of things that you wouldn't realize that Walmart actually sells just right there. If you can look, I'm going to say this right up front. If you can go and support a local business over Walmart, though, I highly recommend that you do that, because your local businesses are what really help support your local economy. So please, by all rights and reasons, go look and see if you can find something locally before you go looking on Amazon or on Walmart.com. That way you know that you're helping your local economy grow and prosper a little bit more so. But if you can't find anything like that, yes, Amazon, Walmart, I'm sure probably has some. And you can find, I'm sure, some small mom and pop shops online other than going to these corporations. So try and find something small like that.
The one in downtown Greenville is called the Mushroom Spot.
The Mushroom Spot. You need to take me out there. So
we'll make it an adventure of it.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
I think we should do 2 things.
What's that?
I got several things going on in my brain right now. One would be to visit some of these stores that do this and do a video for the YouTube. I think that would be cool. Another would be to do a foraging video.
Sure.
Where you're out finding and identifying, doing a hike, whatever.
Right.
That would be cool. The other thing that I keep bouncing around in my brain is, so everybody's used to most people, when they think of a mushroom, they think of the cute little cap, the red mushroom with the white stem.
The fly agarica.
That grow out of the ground.
Scary, I mean.
So what's the main difference between the mushrooms that grow out of the ground? It rains for a couple of days and all of a sudden you've got mushrooms in your yard.
Right.
And the ones that like grow on the trees.
So are you asking the difference between the ones on the trees and the ones like in your lawn?
Yeah.
So okay, here's a fun fact. The ones that usually kind of look like a fairy ring, they're kind of in a circle. Yeah. Those are typically like called green spored parasols. So, for instance, if you were to take the cap of it and you put it on a white piece of paper and you leave it for a couple hours, like put a cup over it, you'll end up with green spore print from the mushroom. And the reason that they form in rings is because they release their spores in a circular kind of dispersion. Right. But yeah, a lot of I think a good practice that I learned when learning to identify and forage was pretty much don't eat a lot of the white ones that you find, because you've got the destroying angel. Another one that I heard is don't eat the ones that the squirrels eat.
Oh.
Don't eat the ones the squirrels eat.
Okay, the squirrels eat all the ones in our yard.
Pretty much don't eat them then. One of the main ones,
there's a mushroom called the destroying angel.
There's one called the destroying angel, and it is one of those creeping up ones. So if the story I remember being told was this lady's little dog, like a little Chihuahua, had ate part of it or ate one of the mushrooms. And they didn't realize, and it's the symptoms don't really onset until kind of almost too late to really do much of anything. They can like pump your stomach and give you kind of stuff for it, but once it hits, it's kind of too late for that.
Wow. Oh wow. Yeah.
Really bad.
So stay away from that one.
Yeah.
Properly named.
Yeah, I know that. Anytime that you're handling mushrooms, in general, even if it is an edible mushroom, because some, like we've established already, you know, these you want to cook before you consume them. So that means that also if you're handling them while they're raw and uncooked afterwards, you should always take the time, whether you know it's edible or not, to wash your hands after handling them.
Don't touch your face.
Yeah, don't touch your face. Don't put your fingers in your mouth, and just be responsible anytime that you're handling any kind of mushrooms. And that includes, like I said, portobello mushrooms, because this guy, I wish I remembered his name. He said that if you do not cook portobello mushrooms,
interesting,
then it can actually be carcinogenic to your body. So, and he went so far as to say that that he doesn't want to talk a lot about portobello mushrooms because Big Mushroom, I know that sounds weird to say and to hear, yeah, Big Mushroom would possibly come after him. So he prefers not to actually talk about the portobello mushrooms.
Interesting.
That is very interesting to me.
I'm definitely going to look up this podcast and listen now.
Yeah,
portobellos are the great big ones that people literally use for hamburger buns, right?
Yeah. They use them for that, or stuffed mushrooms, or anything like that.
So I was vegetarian for 5 years, and that was one of my main things. I would just grill a portobello cap and use that as my burger meat.
Yeah. So that's, there is some kind of trope around
carcinogenic.
Around portobello mushrooms that, he is really, really avid on not talking or discussing, because if he does, undoubtedly it's some kind of risk to his health and safety, which I found quite interesting. So do some research on that for yourself. And by all means, look up Mushroom Man and Mushroom Man and what is his name? Joe Rogan. Okay. Portobello mushrooms. Name? So portobello mushrooms, Mushroom Man, Joe Rogan. You type that in, and you're gonna learn some stuff, okay? Because he was very, and I don't hesitate when I say this. He was very held back and reserved when it came to talking about specifically portobello mushrooms, and I thought that was really interesting.
I'm gonna dive into that when on my drive home.
Yeah, I'll have to watch that one now.
Yeah. So
there's one that I wanted to mention.
Pardon me.
I found it the other day when I was doing some research, but it was the Dr. Josh Axe show.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, big doctor, but he did one on 7 mushrooms that you should be taking daily, and I think I found it on Spotify.
Okay.
And I just want to share. That's a good one to listen to, and he does kind of dive into the psilocybin as well. And what I really liked, and I think you would like about the podcast, is he does dive into the spirituality behind it as well as the mental aspect. And I thought that would be great.
Yeah, for sure.
The next episode or something.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the world of mushrooms is a very interesting one. So the wife said that she forgot the stream started at 6:30. She thought it was at 7:30. No, it's and Topher said that Topher is so handsome.
That could have been anybody.
No, anybody. I'm pretty sure that says Topher Pace said that Topher Pace is so handsome. Look at his hair just flowing in the wind there. Yeah,
in this salty breeze.
So. I definitely think that it would behoove anyone who's watching right now to go and look up the healing properties, whether it be physical, mental, or emotional, properties of mushrooms, and see if you can find a local mushroom hunter around you that you might be able to actually go and take courses on, because just like I learned a lot about.
Add me on Facebook.
Yeah, or you can go and add her on Facebook. I think that's a really good thing. If you're local to the Greenville, Pickens, Anderson area of South Carolina, look up.
Even Western North Carolina. I like to hike up and towards Pisco a lot too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good hikes up there.
So, how can people find you on social media? I guess that's a good place to start on that.
I think it's just Rachelle Hudson on Facebook. I'm gonna double check. Oh my gosh, I don't ever look myself up on Facebook.
And by the way, Jinx says that you look amazing.
Aw, thanks, Jinx.
You. Oh,
love you, honey.
Okay.
Topher, you need to calm down, sir.
Yeah, I follow Rachelle on
Okay.
Instagram. I know. I'm not even sure about Facebook, but I know on Instagram.
I'm kind of sad if we're not Facebook
Well,
friends.
what I can do is after we finish our live stream,
Yeah, you can put that in
I'll just put it in the description. Once we edit it, I'll put it in the description there. And whenever it goes up on Spotify or whatever other podcasting platforms, I'll put it in the description for those as well so that people can find you. And that'll be all of your social media, whether it be TikTok. Do you have TikTok?
I do not.
That's fine. It's okay. You don't have to have TikTok.
I have Instagram and Facebook.
Okay, so your Instagram and your Facebook, I'll make sure to put links to both of those there. So, now can you talk to me? You kind of butted in on this just a little bit. No. It's a good thing. About the spiritual aspect of mushrooms. Can you kind of give me your thoughts and your thought process on the spirituality side of things?
Sort of. I'm not a very
just from your perspective.
But,
just from your you brought it up.
I think because I know a lot of followers and a lot of my friends are Christian, and I was brought up Christian, but there's a lot of taboo behind the psilocybin side of things,
right.
And I think what I was trying to stress is that it is medicine and it can be used as medicine in the right way. Right. It is not so taboo. Right. But specifically in that podcast, he was talking about how this husband and wife had went to therapy, and the therapist had instructed them to microdose together. And so they had to go to therapy because obviously, to begin with, I guess it was against the religion because it was
a psychedelic.
Right, a psychedelic. Yeah. But again, microdosing and then tripping is two completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Microdosing can be very medicinal, very beneficial to health and spirituality. It can almost it resets the wiring in your brain and helps you come out of a dark place, and you have a better mindset about a lot of things.
Got you. So I want to talk about you now just a little bit. Throughout your life, and as you've kind of come to discover, the world of mushrooms, what do you personally use mushrooms for in your day-to-day life to help you out, and for what reasons would you use those things?
I love the cordyceps. I have a cordyceps tincture at home, and honestly, it's for energy. I use it for energy every day. But again, this one here too, I really like this. Actually, recently a friend of mine showed me that. So I've actually ordered it, and I started taking it daily. I've actually started giving it to Sergeant Cranford as well. Okay. And try to help him out. What else?
So this one, by the way, says Nature Target is the name. It's Complete Mushroom Plus. It's got lion's mane and turkey tail and reishi and cordyceps. Yeah. And it used the ampersand between each one of those. So I just wanted to point that out. So, yeah. And so you use these to help boost your energy levels. Do you use it?
And then the lion's mane, again, I have lion's mane gummies.
Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah. You can find them in gummy form as well. A lot of different avenues for, you can do the capsules, powders, teas, tinctures.
Poe is going crazy over here. Sorry. Honey, will you come up and grab him real quick? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Teas, tinctures. But yeah, I found some gummies, and I'll try to remember the brand and send that to you so you can link it or something.
Yeah, definitely want to put anything like that. We want to put in the description of the video. We want to do links and things so people can follow up on this.
Yeah, yes. For sure.
I'll definitely, when I get home, I'll get that to you.
Okay.
But those are just things that I add in my daily vitamin regimen, or tea. I drink a lot of tea.
Okay. So aside mushrooms aside,
okay.
Even though you are my local mushroom lady, what else do you do to kind of help clear your fog and to, bring yourself up, whether it be spiritually or emotionally? What kind of things do you do to kind of help bring yourself up out of like a fog or?
That's a good one. Honestly, a lot of times I'll go for a hike with my dog Mika. Mm-hmm. We'll just go in the woods, and it's just me and her, and it's nice and quiet, and you can just kind of breathe it all out, get it all out. Another thing is if it's inclement weather, I honestly like to go for a nice drive by myself.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Just the back roads, just we got some nice little back roads around here.
I know that. Hold up. Well, Alexa was fixing to say something. I don't know what it was, but I think that one of my personal favorite things to do whenever it's raining is just sit out on the porch and listen to the rain as it falls.
I just got a new hammock and got it set up on my back porch, and it's just I'm waiting for a little storm to come so I can just relax. It's gonna be so nice.
Are you one of those individuals that if you had the option of like the tin roof, be able to sit, like in
I have a tin roof.
Oh,
we put a tin roof on the house last year.
Was it specifically for that, or
no? It was
just necessity.
It was necessity, and it made the property value go up.
That's good though. Like I love the sound of rain on a tin roof. Yes. I think that's one of the most relaxing and calming things. I love listening to a thunderstorm. As a matter of fact, Jinx, whenever she's sleeping, she turns on the sound machine. She usually likes.
I use Google, and I'm like, hey Google.
Yeah, and lets the sounds go. By the way, she mentioned Mika. She has a husky, and she is such a sweetheart.
So she's bigger than a husky because she's a Timberwolf German Shepherd and Siberian Husky. And right now she's a little overweight. She's like 130 pounds.
Has she not been hiking lately or something? Or
not quite as much because it's been so hot and it's just too much. And I'm not gonna stress her out. I don't want no heat stroke or nothing. So she's kind of gotten spoiled over this past summer in the air conditioning. But it's starting to cool off, and we've been going on a lot more hikes lately. Like it's so nice. Season. Yeah, it's so nice in the morning around like 6-7 o'clock when we go for hikes.
Do you ever do like the big old ice bath for her, like in the kiddie pool?
So funny enough, like 2 years ago, I bought her like a small kiddie pool and filled it up. I bought like probably 7 or 8 bags of ice. She went over, she licked it, and she wouldn't get in it, so I pushed her into it, and she stood there and licked the water and then walked out and had nothing else to do with it.
Lessons were learned that day.
I wasted money. It's okay.
Jinx wants to know if you still take your cat on hikes.
Not as much. I did take her paddleboarding earlier this summer, though.
So
Miss Amber did get to go paddleboarding.
The first time that we ever met Rachelle, Jinx and I were going out on a hike to this little waterfall area, and she had this beautiful little orange cat.
She's tuxedo.
Oh, tuxedo. Okay, like so on her shoulder, I actually took a photo of this, but this cat just sitting up on her shoulder as she walks through like a little parrot, and just enjoying the ride. And I thought it was the most adorable thing. So I was like, I'm one of those people that I will absolutely, if I have my camera on, you just be like, hey, can I take your photo? And that's exactly what I did. I was like, oh my gosh, that is adorable. And I was like, excuse me, do you mind if I just take your photo of you with your cat on your shoulder? And she was like, of course. And it was just the cutest thing that I think I've ever seen. And she takes this cat everywhere. She has photos. And when you get on her social media, you will see this. This cat will sit on the front of her longboard as she paddles through the lake, and the cat just soaks it up.
She loves it. I have to hide her like little shark swimmy vest, like her life vest.
Yeah.
I have to hide it in the wintertime, or else she'll go find it and drag it out. And I'm like, I feel so bad telling her no, like it's too cold. And it's not like the same putting her in the bathtub. She's like, heck no.
That's fantastic. So I think that's probably... Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, no, Kimberly had asked about Organo, I guess is that a name brand? Mushroom coffees and teas. What are your thoughts on that?
I have heard of those. I was actually, I wrote in my notes that there is a lot of mushroom teas and a lot of mushroom coffees. I think
hot cocos.
What was the brand again?
Organo?
It's a mushroom tea, right?
Yeah, they have teas, coffees, hot cocos, and all kinds of stuff.
I think I did try the hot cocoa. They have like a little single packs,
Yeah.
I got a couple and took them on a hiking trip, and we had coffee up at the summit.
Yeah,
I think it's good. I think they're good. Honestly, I go through the reviews a lot. I read like all the reviews before I like dive into something like that.
Yeah. I see.
Yeah, that's the brand. Murdock, that's the one that we've had. The King coffee that you like.
Yeah.
You and Kimber,
mocha that I really like.
Yeah, you and Kimber have given me quite a bit over the years. Especially since I found out that I had the cancer, and I can say, without a shadow of a doubt, that cocoa and coffee and tea and everything has helped me so much with I have a really bad issue with like lethargy and
I would say it helps, so it's probably like a lot of gut biome.
Yeah, that also like I've noticed that I haven't been as gassy or I suffer really really bad. I think it's a combination of the cancer since it's in the liver, with irritable bowel syndrome and stuff like that. And I've noticed that when I take that and when I use that coffee, but I think also in unison with like the turkey tail tincture and stuff like that, that really, really seems to help with, calming a lot of that stuff down. So like, I think that it's absolutely something that is, worth looking into if you haven't before. Let me smell that. You've been smelling the heck out of this.
It smells good.
It does. It smells better on the backside, like on the bottom, than it does on the top. It does. Here, Topher, you want to smell it?
Smell-o-vision was a thing.
Smell-o-vision, scratch-o-vision, scratch and sniff-o-vision.
One day.
Well, look, I want to say very much.
Technology is advancing every day.
It is. It is, and we still don't have it. But look, I want to say.
For instance, now I'm doing a podcast with Murdock, and I don't even have to be in the same room with him.
Well, don't get used to that because you need to be in the same room as me. Otherwise, it's just pretty much the Lighthouse podcast with Murdock and Topher sometimes.
Yeah.
Wherever he may be.
I'll phone in on occasion.
Yeah,
great.
Okay.
That should be a series, though.
Okay, this was your idea. I just wanted to point that out, Topher. This podcast was technically your idea. Okay.
Sometimes I'm not so smart as I think I am. Occasionally.
Sometimes.
Also. Therefore, too.
Sometimes? I don't think you know what the word sometimes means. But, Rachelle, thank you so much for coming on with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I've learned a lot. And if you have any questions for Rachelle, feel free to post them in the comments or go and follow her. You can on any of her social media accounts. Her name is Rachelle Hudson. That's RACHELLE Hudson, HUDSON. And you will see this beautiful face here on pretty much all of her social media.
I think it's a picture with a Jeep, like my Jeep, me and my Jeep.
Yeah. Now. So go send her questions there. You can send them here, wherever, and we'll do our best.
If I don't know off the top of my head, I will find out and get back to you.
And she is absolutely telling the truth on that. I've had so many questions throughout the years that I've known her. I'll just send them random pictures of random mushrooms.
No context.
Can I eat this?
No context, and just be like, "Hey, can I use this for anything?" You're absolutely right, Topher. Can I eat this? And she'll get back with me fairly quickly. If she doesn't know, she'll tell me.
No, I feel weird.
I usually try not to make a point of like eating them before I send them to her. Okay, because I don't want to end up, seeing 3 of the mushrooms and while there's only one there, kind of thing, right? But I really am so grateful to have you with us on here. I don't have our social media up on here right now, but if you would like to find us on social media, just type in Official Lighthouse Podcast and you'll see our beautiful logo on there, and you can follow us there. Share this podcast with your family, whether it be you watching it here on YouTube or on any other social media platform. If you're listening to it on any of Spotify or Amazon Music or Apple Podcasts, wherever it is, share it with your family, with your friends, with the cat that likes to sit on your shoulder, or anyone else, because the more people hear about the things that we have to talk about on this podcast, the more people can actually benefit from these wonderful conversations that we have with our guests, such as Rachelle. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. It was a pleasure to have you on.
We'll segue into the next section.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, before we go, do you have any closing thoughts for our guests? Any advice that you might have for them as far as clearing their own mental fog?
Ooh, clearing your own mental thought. My biggest thing is making time for yourself. Everybody's always so on the go and so into work that we forget that there needs to be a work-life balance, and really just making sure that you take time for yourself every day. If it's 10, 15, even 30 minutes you can set aside to just do something for yourself, whether it's just be sit in kind of a calm situation or a calm area, and reflect on some things throughout the day. Have a beer, whatever makes you feel happy in the moment. Just make time to do something for yourself every day.
Absolutely.
That's been a big thing for me. I've struggled with working long hours and long shifts, and that's been one of the things this year specifically I've really dove into making time for myself every day.
That's good, and that's very good advice. And what about you, Topher? You have any closing thoughts for our guests?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to follow up on. Okay, so two things. First, Rachelle, thank you for sitting in studio beside Murdock so that I don't have to be there beside Murdock. Oh, I did that joke already, but it's still funny. And furthermore, following on what you did, I'm having a beverage, and that's an important daily thing, especially if you have Guinness. A Guinness a day keeps the doctor away. I believe that is a thing. There's so much I could unpack on that, because when she was talking about like sitting on the porch and in the rain and Kimber and I love to do things like that. One of our favorite things is sitting on the back porch in our little chairs when our porch is kind of small, so if it starts raining hard, we gotta go inside.
Same.
But when that thunderstorm's rolling in and you're just sitting there and the cool breeze comes in, and that's one of the best things ever for unwinding.
Absolutely. Little light jazz playing in the back.
Yeah, we're probably going to be listening to like Kings of Leon or something like that.
Nice.
Some kind of chill raid. Noah Khan, something a little more. But whatever works for you, whatever music works for you. If you want to listen to Iron Maiden while a thunderstorm rolls in, go for it. I'm sure Bruce would appreciate it. The Bruce Dickinson. Yeah, that's kind of all I got. This was great. Thank you for coming. And I would love to follow up and try to do Kimber and I could do a hike. And
that'd be great.
We could do like a mushroom hunting thing, because we see them all the time. I mean,
absolutely.
Seriously, we're just walking along. We were out with the grandkids the other day hiking somewhere. It's like, look at that tree with all those little fans of mushrooms on it. And I have no idea what they are. And it would be really great to know what those are.
What's super great about our area specifically, Pickens and Oconee County, is we're like technically a temperate rainforest.
Mm-hmm.
The humidity and just the climate, it makes great. So especially like hikes are best maybe a couple days right after it rains heavy. The humidity kind of gets up and there's tons of mushrooms around.
Yeah. We've had a very rainy season here as well.
I came up on a huge patch of black trumpets the other day.
Oh.
They were pretty good.
That's fantastic.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
Black trumpets are a type of mushroom.
Chanterelle. Yeah. They're a type of chanterelle, and they literally look like a little black tube. I don't know how to... They look like dead leaves. They're really hard to...
Okay.
I think I have some pictures I'll have to send you.
That sounds great. Well, thank you so much once again, everyone, for joining us today. And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Again, I apologize so much for all the technical issues that we've been having to where we're not been able to do our podcasts with you live. We do have a couple that we have recorded that we will be uploading soon so that you'll be able to explore those and enjoy those, such as the one that we did last week with Kevin Rutherford. Such a wonderful guy. And we had an amazing conversation with him. Topher, you and I, we sat and we talked with him for some time with Kevin, and it was just such a good conversation.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah.
And then the week before that, and next week even, we have another great guest coming on. Her name, pardon me, excuse me. Her name is Michelle. and she is a widow to a fallen state trooper, and her story is incredible, and I think that you will all be able to benefit from the story that she has to tell and share with everyone. So please tune in next week for our podcast with Michelle Redman. But with that being said, I want to say once again, thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Lighthouse podcast. I love you guys, and we will see you then. Bye, guys. And now it's the after show.
Now it's the after show.
So let me see. Let me get this pulled up in a way where it is.
We're gonna do the weird thing where.
Yeah, we're gonna do the weird thing. And I gotta create it real quick. I gotta create the scene for this because it's gonna be extra. All right, so let me do this. We're gonna go ahead and duplicate it, and we're gonna do after show. I'm creating this scene as we do this right now. So after show.
In real time.
In real time, we are doing this. Okay, so let's go ahead and add a source to this.
Wait, am I going to be the source?
No, you are anything but a source. Hey, Jeremy, good to see you in here, buddy. I'm sorry I didn't catch you before, so we're going to add that source there. And then we're going to see if about doing this. No, I'm going to do it over here because it's going to probably be a little bit easier for me to do it over here. There we go. Boom. What do you got over there with you right now, Topher? What kind of smoke you got? I don't think you heard me.
This is all the stuff that gets edited out, right?
Not on the after show. No, we don't really edit the after show. What kind of smoke you got with you today there, Topher?
I'm just doing one of the Habitampa Perfectos again.
Oh,
you know, my little dollar cigars.
Yeah. Well, today we have the Acid Blondie Maduros with us today.
Fancy.
That's a good one.
Yes, it is. I've had them before. They're really, really good smokes. As far as little, quick smokes go. Love these cigars.
I had the option. I'll show you this. Be on the camera. We're not sponsored by Drew Estates, but we could be.
Yes. Yes, we
These
could
are the
be.
Acid Blue Connecticut's. These are these little small ones that come in a 10. I think there's 10. 10 and a 10.
10 and a 10.
10 and a 10. And 10 out of 10. They're great. All the Drew Estates cigars are excellent. I had the option for that, but I just really like these little inexpensive ones.
Yeah, I don't mind the little inexpensive ones myself. Would you mind cracking that door open for me, please? I'm gonna crank this fan up just a little bit too here, so you're gonna hear that in the background. So you're gonna have to forgive us for that, but I don't really care if it messes up the audio too much. It can't really destroy it too awfully bad, but I don't like I was saying, I don't mind the cheaper cigars. Like I said before, one of my favorites just so happened to be the the backwoods cigars. I think they're really good. A lot of people use them for naughty stuff. Yeah, we do.
We'll have to do those.
Yeah, we do.
Naughty stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm so excited to go home and cook this.
Oh, I thought you had brought it as a gift from me.
Do you know how to cook it?
Wait, is that?
Of course.
Okay, so I've lost video, so I can't see what you guys are doing. Is that the orange one?
Yes. Yeah, I was talking about the chicken of the woods. I think I'm gonna cut it up and like pan fry it, kind of sear it almost, make it a little kind of crunchy, and use it in some tacos.
Interesting.
I'm gonna see if I can figure out why your video went out. Your video feed. Hold on one second.
It suddenly dropped out.
Pardon me.
Can you squeeze behind me? Nope.
Excuse me. You're thin. I'm fat. It works. It works. It works. Did my phone die? Is that what happened?
Topher, can you hear me?
I can hear you guys great.
Cool.
The audio has never been an issue.
So you know shiitake mushrooms, right? Like these.
Yes.
Sorry, where's my camera? There we go. These. So when they're fresh, like these are kind of dried out. When they're fresh, one of my favorite things to do with them is cut them up kind of thin, like almost like maybe a thick cut slice of bacon. You put them like some seasoning of your choice, and put them in on a sheet pan in the oven on like a real low setting, and let them kind of dehydrate, and you have shiitake jerky.
I figured it out.
So my wife's over here having a fit, she has not met you. We got to get. I got to get her and you together.
Hi, honey.
You guys are birds of a feather.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's go hiking. It's perfect weather for hiking.
Yeah, she's like over there going, "Ooh, what are you talking about?"
You're not gonna hear me die coughing on this thing.
Yeah, no, yeah, she's all about this kind of stuff.
There we go. We'll have your video feed back up here shortly. Here, Topher.
Will you now?
Pardon me. There we go.
Sure. Oh, there we go.
Hello again.
There you go. You can see us now, right?
Unfortunately, I can see you, Murdock.
You know what? I should just zoom in on me and make you only be able to see me. Rude. You're so rude. Why are you always so mean to me, man? It's very impolite to be mean.
Yeah, it's so one-sided, right?
So
I had a question. I was thinking about it this morning, and of course it went away.
Darn.
We were doing in the after show, we were doing our favorites things, and there was something different, and I was like, oh, that'd be a good one. And of course, now we got talking about mushrooms, and I forgot. Well, it was very interesting. And it's funny because we were talking about the Joe Rogan thing, which obviously I think you and I are both big fans of his too, and have watched a lot of his content. But not surprised to hear him talking about mushrooms with somebody because he's all about the trip.
He likes the psychotropic side of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's it's not LSD. It's what's the thing he does that they talk about it. He's had several people on talking about some kind of the DMT trip.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they talk about that, which gets a little weird to me because let's get. No, we don't have to get deep into anything like that. But then, anyway, because the DMT elves are a whole big thing that everybody sees these elves.
Yeah.
And then of course there are Christian philosophers who are like, yeah, those are demons. You're literally communicating with demons. And I'm like, I don't know. They're probably right. I don't know.
Maybe.
So it gets a little weird for.
Well, that actually kind of like leads me to a question. What are your opinions on psychedelics as far as mushrooms are concerned?
Oh, I think microdosing is amazing. I think that it has a great place, and that we're learning more and more about it. Trad Cotter, for instance, the guy I used to work with at Mushroom Mountain, if I'm not mistaken, he has a facility, like a resort type thing in Jamaica now, where he actually does guided psilocybin trips for like spiritual purposes.
Guided? What do you mean by guided?
So it's more I'm not sure because I haven't like dove into it or anything, but so it's a little more than microdosing. So typically when you do a large quantity of psychedelic mushrooms, especially like your first time or something like that, it's typical that people have what they call a sitter.
Right.
So somebody who is sober and can kind of, if you get a little sad or emotional or too in your...
Be there to kind of hold your hand through the process.
Right, kind of hold your hand through it. And so that's kind of what they do, is they kind of help guide you through that spiritual process.
Yeah. I think, and I've had a lot of people tell me that psychedelic mushrooms specifically are something that I should try for the cancer.
Yes.
I'm super reluctant for multiple reasons. One of which is because I have kids. I have to make sure that I am here physically and mentally for them,
So I think because there's such a scare behind it in the Christian world, or there's a difference between microdosing and
just tripping.
Having tripping. Yeah. And microdose, like you're only taking a very small portion, and it's not like you're gonna see stuff out there. It's more like it's going to make you feel calm and mellow. Right. Really good if you have trouble sleeping. It helps sleep at night.
I definitely do have issues. Every single night I have issues with sleeping. Like, as a matter of fact, the only thing that really helps me sleep, as bad as this sounds, is the pain meds that are prescribed to me for the pain for my cancer, and they give me like oxycodone, 10 milligram.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've been on oxycodone for over a year and a half now, just to kind of be able to tolerate the pain.
Right.
Like the pain's still very much so alive.
But it kind of dulls it slightly.
Yeah, more so than anything, I think it helps me not care so much about the pain.
Yeah.
But and I've always been, and it's a fear. It's a fear to try the psychedelics because I've never done anything like that.
I think if you're gonna go for the first time trying it, obviously make sure you have good source. To make sure you're around people that you trust and that are not gonna mess with you,
right?
And make it worse or anything like that.
Well, that's another thing is like finding somebody that deals with psychedelics that I can trust. You know what I mean? Like a lot of individuals that are dealing with stuff like that are also into other things, and I really have a hard time trusting them. I mean, you think of it this way.
No, that's true.
You think of it this way, like another thing that I mess with is marijuana. I can't stand the smell of it. I can't stand the taste of it. I'm allergic to to something in it, and I don't think it's the THC. It may be the THC, but I can't even do like the gummies that without the THC in them because it makes my throat itch.
Have you tried like the vapes as well?
I have, and it just wasn't.
Same.
Yeah. So, but people, you hear of people all the time getting their stuff laced with stuff, and I'm like, I'm not.
So that, in my opinion, you want to buy from a reputable source, like buying your baggie from Joe Schmo down the road.
Talk to me as if
$50
talk to me as if I have never discovered or explored the possibility of the realm of drugs or to any extent, because I haven't. Like I don't know anything about that world, so I wouldn't even know how to find somebody who's quote unquote reputable.
Well, unfortunately, in South Carolina, it's still not legal. In Michigan, I'll use this as reference because I lived in Michigan for a while. Michigan, it's decriminalized, and so they have amazing shops up there that you can go in and you can get all the different things. You can get wax, you can get shatter, the different forms, and then they even have a lot of the edibles. I personally like edibles more than I like inhaling the smoke.
Yeah.
Like the gummies, they even have Rice Krispie treats and cookies and brownies.
But see, that
makes the little.
There's another thing with it, it's the fact that if I start bringing cookies and brownies and stuff in here, and I have kids.
Well,
if they come across that kind of stuff,
you definitely want to make sure you have like a lockbox with children. That would be my suggestion.
You don't know my children very well, do you? If they see something that they clearly are not supposed to get into, they're going to go to the ends of the world to try and figure out how to get into it.
I was a sneaky kid too.
Yeah. So
I had to know.
Yeah. But yeah, I have certain qualms about trying things like that, and like
that's very admirable though, is making sure that your family is taken care of.
Yeah,
too.
I have to make sure that they that they're taken care of, that I'm physically, mentally, and emotionally there for my family, not just my kids, but my wife as well. And anything that could obscure my ability to be able to do that, it just makes me not
I think you're on the right track with microdosing the mushrooms and psilocybin over marijuana. I think that it would be a better pathway.
Yeah, you're actually the fourth person who's told me that, and it's just, I think it's more of a fear factor than it is anything.
Absolutely, that's understandable. There's so much research. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. We just kind of have to talk all over each other every once in a while. No, my thing is I've always been a control freak. I didn't do anything when I was a kid. Like I was raised by my paternal grandparents, and they thought the absolute worst of me because I was into music, I grew my hair long, and so they just thought, oh my God, he's in this world where everybody's doing drugs. I never did anything. I've never done any drugs. I didn't even start drinking beer regularly till I was in my 40s. I'm just such a control freak. I just have this need to be completely in control all the time.
Yeah.
It's nice to let go, though, sometimes.
I agree with that.
Like you were saying, it's got to be people you trust when you
absolutely
unwind in some way like that. Because I read up on, it's been probably 15 years ago, purple salvia.
Oh my God, terrible stuff.
Apparently it's like a really intense but very short-lived thing.
Yes.
Well, I've heard stories of a guy that like
and everybody that was talking about was like, make sure you're with somebody who knows you well and can like make sure you're okay, because it can be a really weird thing. And
it can.
There's a story of a guy that tried salvia, and he went on a trip for like, in his mind, the trip was like 15 years. Created a family, had kids, grew, friendships and all this stuff with these individuals. And then when he finally came to, he had been in the hospital for like a day. But in his mind, it had been like 15 years.
Your brain is crazy amazing.
True. It's always doing something cool.
No, I thought I don't know. Murdock, have you ever flown in a dream?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the thing that everybody's done. I literally had to learn to fly in my dreams.
That's interesting. That's really interesting.
So that's diving into like, what's the word? Like, keep going.
You with the words today.
I know. I am just.
I know. So like when I was
a
teenager, I couldn't fly in my dreams. I would jump a really long, like the Hulk. I would jump and I would go a really long way, and then eventually I could get to the point that I would just fly in dreams. And I remember waking up from a dream one night going, it was like dusk, and I'm flying through this beautiful countryside landscape, and there were villages and all this stuff, and I woke up from that dream thinking, my brain just created this world I've never seen in real time.
Yeah.
While I'm asleep. And I mean, I flew for a long time just looking at all this beautiful mountains and countryside and villages, and I'm like, my brain just made that up on the fly.
Uh-oh. I don't know what Poe's down there barking at. So I have a chocolate lab, for those of you who are watching that does not know. I have a chocolate lab, and he likes to bark even if he thinks he hears somebody. It could just not be anything at all, and it's in his mind, and he's going to bark at it. So, that's the only, downside in my mind of doing the podcast here at my home. But like,
I think it makes it better that he has a ducky onesie on.
We'll put up with Poe barking occasionally. It's fine.
Yeah, I love him, so I can't just be like, no, you're going outside for the day. He would never do. No, I can't put him outside. It's just not going to happen. He is a good boy. He's the best good boy. And I got him a little onesie with little bitty rubber ducks on it, and it's the most adorable thing you've ever seen.
Heart happy.
You see, there's a mic here that you can say that into.
It makes my Jeep heart happy.
Speaking of the microphone.
Yeah, I love that dog. That's actually one of my big things for my mental fog is, if I'm having a bad day, the dog knows. He knows. He'll come up, and his way of making sure that I feel better in his little heart and mind of minds is ball. He will bring me ball, and he will make me throw ball until my arm wears out. And that's how he makes me feel. But the crazy thing about it is, it works. It does make me feel better. So that's just one of the many ways. But like that
takes
dog,
your focus off of
it does. It does.
In your brain.
It really does. Does your pooch do that for you too?
Oh yeah. It's usually she's not a big toy play dog. It's usually just give me all the love, and if I stop petting her for 1 second, she's like, "Why are you stopping petting me? Like, pet me more." Did I say you could stop? You have like 10 years to stop.
Yeah, you have a dog too. Does your dog do that for you as well, Topher?
She is so regimented. She's a Jack Russell, and is she 18 years old now?
Oh my gosh.
She doesn't seem like it. You would never know it.
It's a Jack Russell, of course not.
No, there's no age showing on that dog at all, whether outside or inside.
And I just realized it's getting really dark out here because I'm outside.
Yeah, I brightened you up a little bit.
Anyway, Anyway, no, she has, and again, I'm regimented. I like discipline and structure and all these things, and she's the same way. So her happy spot is when Kimberly and I are on the couch in the evening. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting on my side of the couch. Kimberly's sitting on her side of the couch. And Sophie's right between us. And if we decide, oh, you know what, we're going to sit in the chairs over here, that dog whines nonstop. Just like, you guys are not where you're supposed to be. I am freaking out right now. This is not okay. And, eventually we'll just say, okay, we're going to have to get back on the couch and she'll be fine.
Anytime that I go over there, there's two things I can expect when I go over to Topher's house. A, that he's going to be a smart aleck, and B, that dog is going to be right there, like either in my lap or at my ankles the entire time. And it's
she loves everybody.
So endearing. It does bring a smile to your face. She's such a sweet dog. I love Sophie.
Yeah, she can't stand other dogs, but what are you doing?
It's the stupid gnat. He's been right here this whole time.
Keeps dive bombing you.
If we have a fly swatter in the studio and I could swat you with it. That's why we don't have a fly swatter in the studio. Because I know that if I did
let's
have one
rethink
here,
this.
No.
If we did have one. Okay.
This is the first time we've had a gnat in the studio, so it's not like it's been a very strong necessity. So
first thing we've had a really annoying thing is
question. He and I have discussed this between ourselves, and we've discussed this with other individuals that have come into the studio. What is your music? What kind of music do you enjoy? Who's your favorite artist?
Oh my gosh, I have such an eclectic taste. Like I said earlier, I was listening to soft jazz while I was working on some schoolwork earlier today.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's better to look at my Spotify playlist. And
well, I know that you have a broad love for music, because I was playing classical earlier, and you were right there with it, humming along, and so it's very clear that you know it.
I have this one, and it's because obviously a lot of rap music I do not like. I don't like the content of it, but there's this guy named Rocco Elliot, and he raps about his plants, and I'm
oh my god.
I mean,
what kind of plants?
So one of his songs, he's just me and my plants. One's propagating or watering day, and then another one he kind of touches on the topic of it's time. I think it's, what is that one's called? It's time to start a garden or something like that. And he's talking about how our produce and meats and things like that we get from the local grocery stores are so packed full of all these harmful additives and chemicals, and red number 40 and yellow, what are all these other ones? And
so he has his own twist of putting it to the man.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. Here, let's see.
I don't know if we can play it otherwise, but
no, this is him.
Okay.
Rocco Elliot.
Send this to me.
Okay, I will.
Yeah, send this to me, because you got me curious.
We have to
now.
put a link to that in the description.
It's a fun, upbeat little thing while I'm moving around the house, watering my plants.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
I mean, to each their own, I guess. I've never heard of a musician focusing on that before. That is definitely unique. All right. So my next question then would be, because it's also something we've discussed multiple times. What is your favorite film?
Oh.
And it's hard, I know, to be put on the spot on this one.
That's so tough. There's so many good ones. Interstellar, though. Interstellar, I know some people are really for it. Some people are really Yeah. It's one of those, I just love it. I think Matthew McConaughey did great. I like the story.
Well, he's a great actor anyway.
Yeah, he really is, though. But it's I love the music score. It's one of those ones I can put it on and just listen to it the whole time.
You just listen.
I've watched it a few too many times.
I've seen the movie, I think, 2.5 times probably.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I mean, it's not that it's a bad movie or that I didn't like the movie. It's
a long movie.
Yeah, it's a very long movie.
It's one of the ones that I bought it because I didn't see it on the theatrical release, so it's one that I went out and bought on Blu-ray when it was released.
Yeah,
and that's when I watched it. And Kimberly and I watched it not that long ago.
Did you?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah,
that's a really, really good one.
It's so in depth. I think the writing on that film was extremely detailed and great.
Too, yeah. I love how they kind of resolved everything. Those are a really well thought out.
Yeah, the ending was really nice.
It's going to come back around at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, phenomenal movie. I love the way that they did bring everything back around, and made the books falling make sense and stuff like that. I thought that was just a genius way of being able to do it. But also on the same side of that, I feel like it could also be considered kind of lazy. Like, at the end of a film, somebody just wakes up just to realize it was all just a dream kind of thing.
I see what you mean.
So, like, and that, in my personal opinion, whenever you do that, and I am guilty of doing that with a short film that I did for film school, but I feel like it's both a lazy way of done, but if it's done right, and I think that Interstellar did do it right, that it's a really great way to tell a story. But I don't know. I'm mixed emotion on it. Yeah.
It has to be done just right, though.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
You can't
right.
just leave it kind of hanging.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. But just I don't know. What if you're watching this or listening to it? Well, actually, we don't put these up on. That's right. If you're watching this, put in your comments what your favorite song or artist is, as well as what your favorite film is, and don't just tell us what it is. Tell us why.
Yeah,
I think that's.
I'd like to know why.
That's a very important thing, is the why, because then I can just be like, my favorite color is blue, but if I don't tell you why my favorite color is blue, then you didn't really gain any insight as to what it is about the color blue that makes it so special to me. So
one of those stupid blue people.
Yeah, I am blue. I am die. Yeah.
I just finished reading a book today. That I've been working on for a while. It's one of those that you just have to kind of unpack as you go. So it's been a slow read. I'll read a chapter and then I'll put it down and think about that for a while. And I'd finished it today, but the guy, we'll have to put it on the podcast down the road. Thanks, babe. That was loud. The guy, two of the books he referenced a lot. Mm-hmm. Two of the things he referenced a lot. One was Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. So, of course, outside the Bible, favorite book and one of the most read books of all time. And he talked about the film Kingdom of Heaven, which we talked about recently.
Yeah.
My favorite film. So he was talking about those, characters and scenes out of those two things, and I'm like really into this book. I'm like, God, this guy's just speaking my language.
What do you guys have you ever seen the films about the rapture? What were those? Left Behind. Have y'all seen those films?
Oh,
I saw one of them.
I was gonna say I think I saw the first one.
Yeah, the first one was actually, in my opinion, it was the better one of the group. Then there was the one that had Nicolas Cage in it, which
I didn't see it.
It felt a lot more contrived. I like the idea of the principle of the films a lot. I love the idea, and it gives you definitely something to think about. But the way that they portrayed it with, if you haven't seen the one with Nick Cage in it, I highly recommend that you go and watch it. Not that it's great, but I want to get your idea on it next time we have a chance to sit down and talk about it. Because
are you giving me homework?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's worth taking a look at, and because it kind of takes the same approach as the first film. This guy has some side thing going on where he is actively in a life of sin and so on and so forth, and he gets left behind. He tries to help people find their way, but I wasn't a fan of how they did the second film. So next time you guys get together with me or talk to me, I'm just really kind of curious to see what y'all's thoughts on that are. So Anyway, I think that's probably a good place to wrap up the after show. What do y'all think? Do you have anything that you want to add to, or maybe go into more depth on, or are we just gonna leave it there?
Are there any other questions?
Talk about one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
That lovely poster behind you.
This one here that people can't really see because of the glare. This beautiful thing here.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can block the glare a little bit.
No, you're not gonna. That's not gonna happen.
It's not.
You're gonna need it. Yeah. Trust us.
Here.
It's lovely.
I can do this. Hold on. Let me just do this real quick. I can bring this up here and there. You can get to see a little bit of a better image of it. Let me see if I can get it with mine. Oh, that's a little bit. You can get each side of the poster there. There you go. I'll just go back and forth between these two here. Yeah, so what he's getting at is we do have a merch line. Yeah, it's the Lighthouse Podcast merch line, and you can go and find it in the description and in the About Us on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook page, or any of our social media. You pretty much find it. Go look on any video on this channel. And go check out our merch. Just to let you know, the merchandise that gets sold on our channel does not go into our pockets. It goes back into making this setup better for you guys, whether it be better equipment, better camera, headphones, whatever the situation is. It just helps improve upon this. It doesn't even go into our cigar fund, okay? It goes into fixing this studio. Some of the things like the Cancer Sucks t-shirts or the Cancer Sucks merchandise or anything related to cancer will actually go straight into helping me with raising funds for my liver transplant, which is coming up soon. And if you would like to help out with that, you're more than welcome to go and purchase any of those things, and that will go straight into my cancer fund. Everything else will go into improving the studio, and that is not for us, that is for you. With that being said, thank you once again for coming and visiting us and giving us just a little bit of your time to engage with you if possible, or just to maybe fill you in on things that you may not have seen or heard. With that being said, we love you guys, and we will see you on the next Lighthouse podcast and after show. Bye, guys.